Send object to layout. Okay, now I'm in the layout window. I'm actually going to go to the camera mode, so the camera selected, so I can revolve the camera around our object. So let's go to the top view. Let's do it this way, and we'll take care of the lights and everything. So I'm going to rotate the center wheel to rotate the camera, and grab the red or the blue handle to move the camera in the X or Y position. In order to get to the top view again, you want to go to the number pad on your computer keyboard and press the number 2. That's the number 2. And you can toggle back and forth from rotate to position, just using your center wheel on your mouse. I'm going to move this light over, rotate it around so it'll point toward the tire. A red arrow is showing you that it's pointing toward the tire. I'm going to move it back a little bit and hit 6 on the number pad, and let's kind of pivot it a little bit more. Select the camera again, and if you right click while you've got the camera selected, it'll move up, change positions like so. So let's move it out, right click, move it up, and we can pivot the center wheel. Let's rotate it some more, and let's change the position more. Okay, alright. Now all we have to do now is hit F9 to render it, to see how. And if you don't want to hit F9, just go, if not F9, just go to render and render frame, and you'll see right beside it, it says F9. Okay. Alright, it's kind of a dark gray rim there. I'm going to change that a little bit to brighten it up. Okay, let's well, I've changed the settings on these in the surface editor. So let's go to surface editor again here, and just to kind of show you what I've done, I've changed the luminosity to 15%, the diffuse to 10%, specularity stayed at 100, and the glossiness, I moved that down to about 55% and changed the reflection to 75%. I don't think I need that much reflection, so I'm going to change that to 55 on all of them. So let's change it on the rim, the mag, and the hub. So 55 on the hub also. And let's do our test render again by going to the render or select F9. Okay. That's not quite what I want, so what I'm going to do is let's go over to back over to Modeler. If you look up here at the right hand corner, you can go to Modeler there, and let's let's create a floor underneath our tire. So let's kind of move everything up too so we can see it. I'm going to move everything vertically, so we can place the tire on the surface. Select T for move, and hold down the control key, and I'm going to move it up. And I'm manually doing this. So now I can select a new layer, and let's select the tire in the kind of ghosted out mode, if you want to call it that. And let's go to create and create a box. So let's do that in the top view. Let's zoom out and let's create a box here. I'm just making just a background and a floor, something that we can pick up some shadows and reflections on. Okay, let's commit to that, and F2 to center, And if you notice, we're going to zoom out in the bottom right view. Let's go to the point mode by moving the space bar, select points, and let's zoom the top out to make sure I've got the right point selected, and select E for extrude, and I'm going to zoom in on this so you can see what I'm doing here. T for move on those points that I've just extruded, and I'm going to extrude again and kind of make a curve with it, and extrude again, and let's move this one all the way up. Okay, so now we've got like a little backdrop behind our tire. So let's commit to that, and let's go back into the full window view here and zoom out. Let's give it a different color. Our floor here right now it's just a gray looking, and it kept the same attributes as the rim. So we're going to name this, and as soon as we name it, it's going to change all of that. So we're going to call this floor, and let's give it a different color. Alright, let's try something mild like that. Yeah, alright, kind of a tan or whatever. Click OK. Alright, and click OK. Now let's go back over into layout, and updates there. We got to move the camera. Camera's already selected. Rotate. Let's rotate it up. Then move the middle mouse button again. Let's move it down. And let's see. And let's rotate the background. So let's go to the top view, and let's rotate the background so the camera will hit the background. Go back to F6. Now let's do a test render frame, and let's see what we got. Okay, starting to look a little better. Let's take some of the glossiness off of it, or some of the reflection. Okay, let's go back to the surface editor, and let's go back to the mag, and let's take the reflection down to, let's say, let's do 25%. And let's do that for all three, the hub, the rim, and the mag. 25, and the rim. And you can also go and type in here to select that, and just type in a 2. Let's do a render again. Okay, and you can play around with the lights and all of that, you know, to kind of bring that out a little bit. Let's move the light around. Let's add another light. So we can go to item and go to let's clone a light. Let's go to the top view again by selecting number 2. Let's take this light and move it out of the way, and we can clone that object. Clone item, clone current item, because that item is selected. I'm going to name it light 2. Light 2, and click OK. It's kind of bright, so let's go to the camera view again, 6, and let's do a render again. Render globals, not render globals, but render frame, and it's bright. So let's turn the reflection down a little bit. Lighting is so important when it comes to how your chromes and all of that are going to show up. So be very careful with lighting. Let's go to the lights again and go to the light properties, and let's change that second light that we created, and the current light is the light 2. So let's turn that down a little bit, turn the intensity down a little more. Okay, and let's do a render on that. Okay, and let's turn the reflection down just a little more. Surface editor, and let's do the hub. Turn the reflection down to about, let's do 10%. So let's do 10. No, let's say 15. Okay. And let's do 15 here. And 15 here. And that's on the reflection. And let's do render frame again. Okay. Starting to look a little better. Let's move the light again. Let's point the light toward the inside of the mag. Let's look at the side view here. And let's take this camera and move it down. And let's move it here. Let's tilt it up. Rotate it up. And let's turn these lights down just a little bit. Those are too bright. Select light 1. Let's turn it down some. Okay. And let's do light 3. Let's turn it down a little bit. Alright. We'll go to the camera view again. Let's see what that looks like. Render frame. Okay. We're still casting shadows. It's not as lit as I want it to be, but that's the basics of it. You have to play around with the lighting and all of that, but you get the concept, hopefully. Alrighty. Thanks for watching, and send me some feedback to let me know if this was helpful. Thank you, and goodbye.